What is up, everybody? How's it going? National champion, Drury University. Okay, Google, what's the weather?
Right now in Springfield, it's 46 and cloudy. Today, there will be showers with a forecasted high of 51 and a low of 37.
Sounds like a hard workout. Let's go. So most of you guys know that I am the strength and conditioning coach for Drury University, the Drury Panthers cheerleading program, and this past January, they went and competed in the UCA College National Championship, and we won our first national title. So all of this is coming to a fold, and it's kind of a 10-year process in the making, and it's been such an incredible experience because I've been a part of this program for the last 8 out of the 10 years. I'm so beyond humbled to still have the opportunity to work with these athletes, to see them just grow, and to watch this program just kind of take seed and move forward. Over the last couple of years, it's been inspiring, to say the least. All that to say, we got the letter today, got the news from our head coach that our national title rings are in, and I wanted to celebrate this moment with you guys. I wanted to take you along with me. So despite it being quarantine season, despite everyone kind of staying home safe, we have arranged with the head coach a little social distancing protocol so that we can pick up our rings. And just to give you guys a little bit of history, so obviously this moment is 10 years in the making. I was able to be a part of the last 8 years, which has just been such an honor, not only to be one of the men who was able to bring back a co-ed program to Drury University, but to be such a pivotal piece in helping grow and shape this program. So I do want to kind of note a couple things. When I first got into the program, obviously we were an all-girl program, and it was really cool because we as the gentlemen who came in, we set the foundation, and there are a couple nuances to Drury cheer that I think have to be noted. First and foremost, Ashley Parnell, our head coach, whose house I'm going to pick up this ring, she came into this program because Drury really needed some structure, and she knew that she was the one to do it, and she painted this vision that escalated to this moment. Now, she maybe didn't have the best timeline, or maybe she did and she just didn't share it, but it's been really cool because I remember back to this past year, the 2019 season, at the awards banquet that we were celebrating our athletes and our graduating seniors, we recognized, Ashley, it's going to be your 10th year in this program, and Coach Bree and I both said, Ashley, we're going to get you a ring. This is the athletic class. This is the team that's going to do it. We knew that was our year, and this put into motion this really powerful intention because we then had a vision and we had a goal. We had the talent to back it up, and we were ready to put in the work, and that's been really cool. A couple other moments that I kind of want to know: when I first came in as the strength and conditioning coach, as well as the gentleman's co-ed coach, I pulled all my men aside and I said, hey, I need to ask something big of you. I need to ask you to just trust in me and to stick around. The reason I did that was because every year before that, we had always just kind of churned through men. From the year I started to the year I finished, until this year, we've actually only graduated 3 men from the program. And so I knew that was a real obstacle, because if I'm having to teach a new class of gentlemen every year, how is the program going to grow? And we are now at the moment where we can start to recruit and find these really talented gentlemen. But at that moment, I just needed talent to stay, to buy in, to believe in the program as much as the coaches did, as much as I did. And as soon as we had that, we were on the track to success. Now, I will say a couple other things that were very strategic or paramount to our overall program success was this book that I found called Relentless. Now, I was turned on to it by Andy Frisella. He's the founder, CEO of First Form Supplements, the owner of Supplement Superstore. A man I have the utmost respect for, and he recommended this book. I picked up the audiobook and I listened to it probably 20 times in a row on my commute to and from work. It's changed my life because it gave me this really strong grasp of how to identify, how to challenge, how to motivate our athletes, right? How to adjust mindset to find that championship mentality. And I was so moved by it, I immediately hopped onto Amazon, bought the hard copy so that I could start highlighting, writing notes, marking it up. And then once I was finished, once I had done that a couple more times, I sent the book to our head coach and I said, Ashley, I don't know which page it's on, but I know the secret to us winning a national title's in here, because the one thing this team is missing is
in 1 mile, turn left onto supplemental route H.
1 mile. But I knew that the team was onto something, and the only thing that we were lacking at that moment was mindset. We had the athletes, we had the talent, we just needed the confidence, we needed the mindset of a champion. And when we found that, when we captured it, when we put it into practice, that's when results started happening. Now, the general saying goes that how do you eat an elephant is one bite at a time. I think I've said this a couple of times. It's very much in my vernacular of whether it be leadership or whatever it is. It's in my brain, right? And so I'm not going to discount that the road to this moment has been completely filled with those small moments, those small successes, and that is how we got here. I'm not saying that it was a book, I'm not saying it was a person or a vision or a team, but things that I can remember to note that really brought us to this moment. First and foremost was getting athletes who wanted to be there. They were ready to put in the work and they were ready to do anything to be there. They loved cheerleading, they loved the sport of cheerleading, and they were ready to put in the time. Next thing was, once we had the people in place, we had to get the skill in place. So grinding out skills, getting better as a team, building in a culture of people who are good. We had to really focus in on attitude, and we had to really find the bad eggs, or so to speak, and we had to get them out of there because they were toxic, and a toxic team is going to lead nowhere. It's just not going to happen. I've seen it time and time again on other teams. So finding the right people is so crucial to finding that success. And then the last key that I can really point to is there was a switch when we started offering scholarships. We got to pull in athletes that we could hold accountable, and what we held them accountable to was practice schedules, to holding up their end of the deal, going to school and doing the work. And then we also held them accountable to a training schedule. So we shifted mindset from you are here as a cheerleader to look good, to take photos, to you are here as an athlete representing Drury University, and you have to be
Continue on to North Farm Road
so
167.
proud. You have to be so proud of that logo on your chest, and it goes
In 2 miles, turn left onto East Pioneer Lane.
you have to be so proud of wearing that logo on your chest. And that notion had to be in and out of the gym, around campus, when you were in the cafeteria, everywhere you go, you were a Drury cheerleader. Once I was able to get that, once we were able to build buy-in, I could give them workout programming and they craved it. I could give them structure and they sought after it. I could give them new skills, new challenges, new stunts, and they hungered for them. They thirsted for it. They were athletes and they had that mindset. Now, obviously the last piece that I'm gonna point to is workouts, partially because it's my piece of the puzzle.
In 1 mile, turn left onto East Pioneer Lane.
1 mile. Obviously, it's my piece of the puzzle, so I'm like hyper focused on this. But those workouts, the very first year, were just running. We had to start somewhere. We had to hold our athletes accountable. Now, that very first year, we didn't have the right team. We didn't have the right pieces. But that next year, we were able to build out a little bit better programming. The very following year, I was able to hone in on the program, what we needed. I was able to build out those conditioning splits a little bit better. I was able to narrow in my focus and really understand each position has different needs, really hone in on what those needs were and build out really custom fit programming for each athlete in each position. This made monsters. I'm telling you, we saw not only our injury rates just plummet, but we also saw engagement of our athletes. We saw them going to class, just doing better GPAs. Their schedules were better.
Turn left onto East Pioneer Lane. Then the destination is on your left.
Oh, it's about time. But giving them that structure that they needed was what got us there. All right, I am pulling in to Ashley's driveway. Let me flip this camera if I can. Pulling into Ashley's driveway. Ring time. Let's do this. We have arrived. Cue Drury's fight song. All right, are you guys ready for this? I'm speechless. There are almost no words. Ring box. Let's see if I can do this and video. Oh man. I'm shaking. I'm literally shaking. Thick ring. I've been making the joke for years that I've been chasing a ring. It's a national title ring, not a wedding band. Probably ruined a couple relationships over this guy. It's crazy. This guy is heavy. Wow. Drury University, thank you. From the bottom of my heart, this is crazy. National champion right here. Let me do this, I'll turn it around. National champion, Drury University. I'll see you guys.